Pouring your heart and soul into your website only to have it get virtually no traffic is definitely painful. You can have the coolest website, the most fun designs. You can add cute cats, dinosaurs wearing hats, you name it. But some fundamental issues may be preventing people from enjoying your hard work. If you're struggling with traffic, despite having a lot to offer, you're not alone. We've seen it, we've experienced it, we've fixed it. And you can fix it too. In this video, I'll go over some of the different ways to increase traffic to your website and get people enjoying your hats for dinosaurs, or whatever it is you offer. There are two main reasons you're not getting traffic. The first is that something's wrong with your website. The second is that you're not doing anything wrong, but you just need to try some new tactics. Let's start with the first reason. So, what might be wrong with your website? The first thing you should check is if your site is being indexed by Google. If Google hasn't crawled and indexed your site, it won't show up in the search results, so most people will never find it. You can check your pages in Google Search Console to see if there are any errors keeping them from getting indexed. If there are, Search Console should tell you about the errors and how to fix them. You may find that you're blocking some crawlers from your website in your robots.txt file. There can be problems with your redirects that you've set up, or there's a problem with your server. Search Console should clue you into any glaring issues. But if Google says your site is being indexed, well, then there's likely another issue. For instance, your site might not be properly optimized for search engines. There are a bunch of things that go into an SEO strategy, and we've got a lot of other videos on our channel that deal with SEO. Like a lot. So I'll direct you to those videos for more specific fixes, but I'll name a few of the biggest ways you can fix your SEO right now. First, create helpful content on your site. That content should answer users' questions and address their needs and challenges, which will draw them to your website. It needs to offer people something unique and not just repeat what everybody else is saying. When you have thin, generic content on your site, there's no incentive for people to choose you over everyone else. So add your personalized insights, quote your experts, share new research. Look for ways to distinguish your website from the millions and millions out there. Second, make sure your site is mobile friendly. Otherwise, it won't rank. That's because Google uses mobile-first indexing, which means it ranks pages based primarily on their mobile versions. Rather than having a separate mobile website, use responsive design. This type of website automatically adjusts the layout of a page to fit the device that it appears on. And third, improve your core web vitals. Core web vitals are benchmarks that measure how your pages load, how fast they load, how much the page elements jump around while loading, and how long it takes for links and buttons to respond when users click them. These benchmarks are a big ranking factor, so you'll rank poorly if you don't meet Google standards. You don't need your core web vitals to be perfect. At the very least, they need to be better than your competitors. You can start by caching web pages, eliminating unnecessary code, and compressing images. If those tactics don't help, you may need to fix things with your server or make other really technical updates. Those and other SEO tactics can help you improve your rankings, which will bring a lot more traffic to your website. But let's say you're already doing all of that. Your site's indexed, it's optimized, and it's ranking okay in Google. If you're still not getting the traffic you want, that brings us to the second possibility that I mentioned earlier, which is that you need to try out some new tactics. Your website is competing with a lot of other websites for traffic, and if you're doing the same things that those other website owners are doing, you're not going to see much of a traffic bump. So let's go over a few of those other tactics. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to stick to the free tactics, so I won't be talking about paid advertising, for example. First of all, you should optimize your local presence, starting with Google. A Google business profile lets people see info about your business in local searches. Let's say we search for exterminators in Seattle. You'll see something that looks like this. That's a local 3-pack, and it shows 3 Google business profiles that match the search intent. If you're an exterminator in Seattle, you want to be one of those businesses. Even if you aren't an exterminator, you want to show up in the local 3-packs in your industry. So you need to create and optimize your Google business profile. Be sure to fill out as much information on your profile as you can, from your contact info to your services to photos of your business or products. And of course, make sure to include a link to your website so that users who see your profile can be guided there. Of course, your Google Business Profile is only one way to improve your local SEO. You can also create content on your website that's geared towards your local audience, like making pages focused on pest control services in Seattle or your other service areas. Maybe even something highlighting specific problems that an area sees, like identifying common pests in Seattle. Outside of content and Google, you can get listed in local business directories and on navigational apps like Apple Maps. All of these help put you front and center for people in your local area. Another tactic you should try is using more specific keywords. When you're optimizing your site for search engines, it's important to target relevant keywords so that you can rank in searches for those terms. But it's also important to target the right keywords and in the right way. For starters, you should target long tail keywords more often, which are keywords that are several words long. Single word keywords tend to be way too broad, with a widely varying search intent. And they also come with a lot of competition. Like, if someone is searching for exterminators, you don't really know if they need services, if they want to learn more about what an exterminator does, or if they're looking to become an exterminator. And the competition is usually very high, so it's not easy to rank. But if someone is searching for cost of an exterminator, you know that they're likely thinking about hiring an exterminator and are figuring out if one is right for their budget. The competition for that keyword is way less intense, and you know the people using that keyword are likely in the market for what you offer. You can create content around that keyword and help guide someone through the purchase process. Again, the more competition a keyword has, the harder it is to rank for. If you're competing against a lot of bigger brands for those shorter keywords, the rise to the top is not easy at all. You should also make sure that the content you're creating is tailored to the search intent for each keyword. Search intent refers to what someone is looking for when they search for a keyword. So if you're targeting the keyword, what do manufacturers do, but you write a page focusing on the benefits of working with a manufacturer, you aren't matching search intent. You have to analyze what's currently ranking in order to understand what people want. Tip number 3, optimize your social media presence. 94% of internet users are on some form of social media, so it's a great option to reach people quickly. There's a good chance you're already using social media for your business, but just because you're using social media doesn't mean you've optimized it to drive website traffic. One way to do this is to post content that points users back to your website. For example, you might post a link on X to your latest blog post, or you might publish an article from your website on LinkedIn, which links back to the original article on your website. Be sure to tailor your content to each channel. For example, a few seconds ago, I mentioned publishing articles directly on LinkedIn. That's an example of using native content, which is less disruptive and more engaging than something like a social media ad. Ads have a place for sure, but they need to be paired with a solid organic presence. You also need to review your profiles and make sure they're optimized for search visibility. For instance, do your social media bios accurately reflect what your business does? You can try using keywords in your bios that help show up in relevant social searches. So maybe you want to show up for exterminator searches. You can create a bio that describes you as an exterminator based in Seattle with experience in XYZ services. You should also review your contact information, including any links that point to your website, so people have an accurate way to reach you. In addition, make sure your profile pictures and cover images accurately reflect your brand. Finally, you should make a YouTube channel. I hear that's what all the cool kids are doing these days. Seriously though, YouTube is a great place to grow an audience. People like watching videos to learn new information, which I'm assuming you already know since you clicked on this video. It's also worth keeping in mind that YouTube is a search engine in and of itself. Not everyone searches for answers in Google. Some of them end up using YouTube instead. So having a YouTube SEO strategy is a great way to reach the audience and direct them back to your site. Do your keyword research, create videos targeted at those keywords, and use titles, thumbnails, and descriptions to get those people to click. As you would with website content, make sure your videos meet people's expectations. You'll need to address search intent, or you, again, risk losing people. If you want to learn more, be sure to check out some of the other videos on our channel that dive in a little deeper into some of those topics. That's it for this video then. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.